Why it sucks to be born as a axolotl? It's silent. You're suspended inside a clear, sticky orb, barely attached to a wet leaf under a few inches of still, cold water. Just one of hundreds, maybe thousands, scattered across the underwater plants like jelly-filled landmines. Your mother didn't stay. She laid you and left. No goodbye, no instructions. Just dumped 1,000 translucent futures and hoped for the best. You've been here for almost 2 weeks, slowly assembling yourself inside this biological bubble. No sound, no light, no choice. And then, something shifts. The pressure builds. The membrane tightens around you like it's changing its mind about letting you out. You twist once, then again. And finally, it tears. Fluid rushes in. Your skin touches water for the first time. It's not gentle. It's not warm. It's just there. And now so are you. You're born. No one notices. You drift forward, dragging a trail of mucus behind your barely formed tail. You look like a baby monster drawn by someone with a shaky hand and no sleep. Your body is almost see-through. Tiny, stunted limbs twitch uselessly at your sides. 3 red, feathery gills stick out from your head like wet tinsel. You don't have lungs. You breathe through those. There's no mother. There's no guidance. There's just you and your siblings. Some are smaller. Some already dead. Some just hatched and chewing on whatever's nearby, including each other. You try to move, but it's not swimming. It's more like flailing in slow motion, as if the water's too thick for you. A shape slides past you. Faster. Bigger. Curious. A sibling. Hatched just minutes earlier. Already stronger. Already hungry. It stops. Turns. You don't know what it wants, but it knows what you are. Your food. You kick weakly, spiraling in panic. It rushes toward you, and right before it strikes, a second blur slices through the water. A diving beetle larva. Fast, violent, precise. Your would-be killer disappears into its jaws. Gone. Just like that. You're alone again, covered in goo, barely breathing, barely anything at all. But you made it. Welcome to the first 60 seconds of your life as an axolotl. It only gets weirder from here. You're 6 months old now, roughly 9 inches long, about the size of a Subway sandwich, if that sandwich had gills, stubby legs, and the emotional stability of a grenade. You've survived half a year in the kind of environment that turns most animals into snacks before they ever learn which way is up. And somehow, you're still here, still breathing, still squishy. The water is warmer now, thicker with algae. You've moved away from the leafy nursery where you hatched, into deeper, darker territory, where the food is better and the predators are bigger. You've learned a few things, like how to ambush bloodworms without knocking your face into the gravel, how to freeze so perfectly still that even your gills stop fluttering, how to sense the electrical pulse of anything stupid enough to move near you. Your stubby legs haven't changed much. You still walk like someone gave a drunk lizard 4 half-melted crayons for limbs. But you're better now, sharper. You've eaten siblings, not on purpose. They just got too close. You didn't even mean to bite. But when the tail twitched, you reacted. And once you start chewing, your brain stops asking questions. That's the axolotl way. You are not evil. You are not kind. You are hungry. And everything smaller than you is a valid option. But even now, 6 months in, armed with instincts and protein, you're still not safe. Because the monsters that used to be your size have also been eating. And some of them didn't stop at siblings. They learned to hunt the hunters. And you? You're officially on the menu. You're now 1.5 years old, stretching close to 12 inches in length, about the size of a ukulele, if someone made it out of anxiety and mucus instead of wood. You haven't changed much on the outside since month 6, but inside, your body has started whispering something new, something chemical, instinctive, and ancient. There's no passion, no emotional shift, just a steady biological thrum urging you to do one thing: reproduce. You begin to drift slower, lower, leaving behind invisible chemical signals in the water, soft pheromone trails that say, "I'm ready, if you are." Then she appears, another axolotl, larger, calmer, and gliding through the murky water like she's done this before. You don't speak. You don't touch. You simply drop a tiny spermatophore onto the sand, a microscopic offer wrapped in slime. She passes over it, collects it without pause, and moves on, silent and unbothered, like nothing ever happened. There's no bonding, no recognition, just a silent agreement, a momentary transaction soaked in instinct. Inside her, eggs are already forming, quietly preparing for another cycle of birth and chaos. And you? You float in the same murky silence, wondering how something so strange can feel so normal. If you're still watching and not subscribed, that's like watching a horror movie and putting down the popcorn right before the kill. Hit subscribe. Because the next part? Let's just say, things stop being cute real fast. At 3 years old, you're still around 12 inches long, about the size of a baguette if someone left it in a swamp and gave it gills. You don't flail anymore. You move with silence, glide through murky tunnels of water and silt, and wait. Everything you used to fear, you now chase. Worms, tadpoles, tiny fish. They don't even see you coming. One twitch of your tail, one burst of speed, and your jaws snap shut like a bear trap made of jelly and reflexes. You're no longer drifting through survival. You're hunting with purpose. But the water holds bigger things. While stalking a baby crayfish near the rocks, you don't notice the ripple behind you. Don't feel the shift until it's too late. A garfish, twice your size and built like a torpedo, explodes from the shadows and slams into your side with prehistoric force. You spin. You thrash. You bolt under a root and vanish into the silt. Alive, but bruised. Turns out being a predator doesn't mean you're not still prey. You're 3 years old, still 12 inches long, roughly the size of a school ruler, if that ruler had gills and a soft belly. You've made it further than most. You dodged predators, fought off infection, found food when the water ran low. You even reproduced once in your own awkward, ancient way. But today, none of that matters. A boy, maybe 7, maybe 8, visits the edge of the pond with a sandwich in one hand and a plastic cup in the other. He sees you, your pink skin, your feathered gills. He thinks you're cute. He thinks you're a toy. And in a way, you are. You don't run. You've never learned how. You've never seen a hand before. He scoops you up, lifts you from the only world you've ever known. You wiggle, slow, weightless. He giggles, then he squeezes. Not on purpose, just a little too curious, just a little too tight. Your ribs aren't bones. They bend, then tear. The pressure crushes your chest. And in a second, everything you were, hunter, survivor, mate, mistake, is gone. You think this was a rough life? Somewhere out there, another animal is being born into something worse. More teeth, less luck, and probably even fewer brain cells. Don't leave them alone in that mess. Click the next video. Witness the disaster.